Good morning, good morning. This is the Closet Quilter, and today I am doing a series for my Cutie quilters, the beginning series. This is video 3, and we're gonna do a talk on ruler work on the Cutie frame. But before we get to that, I want to go over um, some of the things you'll need for ruler work and why you would do ruler work. Um, and just some simple tips on what I've learned about ruler work on the Cutie frame. First of all, why would you do ruler work? Um, my my free motion quilting isn't that great. I'm still working on meander. Framework is a lot different than when I was free motion quilting on a table. So I'm getting the hang of it slowly, but I have some motifs that I can do and some that I'm working on. So I use ruler work to supplement my free motion quilting. Also, I use ruler work for stitch in the ditch, straight line quilting, so I have nice straight lines. Couple considerations are, first of all, my throat space. Of course, that's always a consideration on the Cutie frame. Your throat space, your actual quilting space, your vertical quilting space. Okay, that that actually drives what size rulers I use. I'll get to that later. But first, let's talk about some of the tools you'll need to do ruler work. First thing, you need a ruler base. That is an acrylic or some sort of ruler base. Mine is acrylic. It's made by So Steady. They're the ones that Westerly. They make rulers. So Steady is the American company that distributes Westerly products. So Steady custom makes these acrylic ruler bases for domestic ruler bases. I believe, I can't remember what size it is, but it's the domestic ruler base. And it will ask you the size of your carriage. That's the top carriage. And the size of your width and length of your base on your machine. And you tell them that you're using a Cutie frame. And I happen to have the G2 top carriage. But I originally had the original carriage that came with the Cutie. And my ruler base still fits on it, so I didn't have to get another one. So that worked out well for me. I don't know your machine, what size it is or anything, but give them a call and see what they can do for you if you need a ruler base. It comes with 4 suction cups. Velcro holders for these suction cups go, I put a Velcro strip on the side of on the front and the back. There's 4 pieces of Velcro, 2 in the back, 2 in the front, and the holder sticks to that with Velcro, and then it has a suction cup that underneath that suction cup holds the actual base steady, so that when you do happen to press down a little bit on the ruler, the back doesn't pop up and ruin your needle. Okay, so use those suction cups. Big tip. Okay, the next thing you're going to need, and very important, is a ruler foot. Now, there are many, many, many ruler foots. There's ones made by Westerly, which is great. The consideration you want to have is your machine a low shank, high shank, or high shank special? Mine is the PQ, the Brother PQ 1500S, which is actually like the SL. This is a high shank special machine. I don't know what your machine is, but you will. You will call up So Steady and ask them, or call online sewing parts and ask them what your machine is, or the manufacturer. They will tell you. Now, once you get that, you have your ruler foot on. The ruler foot, I'll talk a little bit about the ruler foot. It's a round foot, a 1/4 inch high, and a 1/2 inch in diameter, this circle. The reason being is the needle is dead center of that circle, and so on either side is a 1/4 inch from where you're stitching. So that's good to know if you want to do 1/4 inch lines. Yeah. So now let's get to how it works. So you put your quilt sandwich up, okay? And say you want to do some straight line quilting. I want to talk a little bit about the rulers. That's fun. Yeah, I have quite the collection. Before I got the Cutie frame, I was quilting on a table on a Brother, what was that? A 990D. It's an Innovis 990D, and that is a low shank machine, so all my rulers were low shank. I had to get rid of those. I sold those to a nice lady, and my ruler collection was depleted, so I bought some other ones. I bought some from Angela Walters. I got Elvira. It's got some curves on it. I got, what is that other one? Hold on. I'll show you all my rulers. I had one left over. One from my So Steady Westerly pack. It happened to be a high shank one. This comes with the starter pack, the Westerly starter pack. It's a arc with a straight edge, actually 3 straight edges, but one long straight edge, which I used with their tape, their sticky tape. This keeps it from sliding on the fabric. Very useful. So, the way it works is you have your ruler foot here. You put that down where you want it. Let's say I want to do this straight line. So my needle, I make sure my needle is on the line of quilting I want to do. So I put my needle down, and then I put this edge up against the ruler foot. I don't push, I just put it up against, and I start stitching, and I go all the way down. Now I'll show you how that works. So I use this a lot because I like to stitch in the ditch and secure all my blocks before I do free motion quilting. That works really well for me. The one I use the most is, what's her name? What is it? Natalia Bonner has a 4-in-1 ruler, and she also has a mini. And I have to use the mini because I only have 5 inches, and there's not a lot of room here, so I get the smaller rulers. Whenever I have a chance to get a ruler, if they have a regular and a mini, I'll take the mini because it's just a lot easier. A word of caution, and this is a big one, big rule. There are 2 types of rulers. There are cutting rulers and there are quilting rulers. Never use your cutting rulers for this kind of work, for ruler work. Cutting rulers are not a 1/4 inch thick. They're not meant for this to be used with this ruler foot. if you use something that is not large enough in thickness, it's liable to get underneath the foot and ruin your needle housing. You could really cause some damage. So never use your cutting rulers for ruler work. Okay, two different animals. So I happen to keep mine separate. I keep them against the wall far away so that I'm never going to reach for them. I've got my rulers for ruler work here handy that I can use. So enough about that. This is a Natalia Bonner. This is the Inside Out Mini. You can see that. She's got like she calls it a pop socket. It's a holder, and I can just do that, and it holds it in place. It's got a nice notch on it, so I can keep it in the right area. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to secure my quilt sandwich. Okay. Don't worry, I am going to get to quilting. You're all going, oh, is she going to quilt? Is she going to quilt? I do. I do that when I watch videos. I'm like, stop talking and quilt. Okay, let's get these things out of the way. Those pesky little bungee cords we've all been talking about. Who knows, maybe one day they'll come up with a solution. We never know. Okay. I'm just going to put this little one up here. Okay. Now, I'll put my rigidity clips on to give it a little tension. There. No, that's not enough tension. Okay. Let's get this thing a little, give it a little more. There, that's what I'm talking about. We talked about tension in video 2, so if you need to look at that. Okay, this looks pretty good. Now, let's just roll up our back. This is always important. And tuck your tails. Someone said, I'll forever be known as the tuck your tails lady. Believe me, I have to tell myself that all the time. It's really important. Let's see here. I haven't had much coffee today, so I'm a little slow. And we're doing construction here, so if you hear the doorbell ring, that's why. Okay, don't need that. Okay, I've got this ready. Now, turn it on. Setting it up to bring my bobbin up. Okay, got my bobbin thread up. Alrighty, now we're ready to quilt. So I've got my ruler, my threads out of the way. I've got my needle down, put it in needle down position. I've got it in that. Now, see how I'm holding this? I'm just pressing down ever so slightly, and I've got it just resting on the edge of the ruler foot. I'm just going to follow this. I'm going to slide the ruler. I'm slide the, I'm going to start stitching, and I'm going to slide my ruler foot along the edge of the ruler. Okay, this is what it looks like. Okay, I've got that nice, neat line of quilting. Okay. I can even echo that. And I can come back up. There. Okay, if I want to go across, then I just move it across. And I keep going till I have this whole line secure. There. I've got that secure. I can come down as far as I can go. You can do basting this way too. You know, we talked about basting in one of my videos. And I use rulers for that, or I don't. Basting really isn't that big of a deal. But I leave my needle down so I don't lose any space, and then I can shift and continue using my rulers. And so I hope that helps give you an idea of how ruler work can help you and get you started, and then you'll find your own path and watch a lot of videos. And hope you enjoy using your Cutie frame. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thanks for watching The Closet Quilter.